It is the 31st day of March 2023, and you're just in time for yet another edition of TV47 News Updates. We have so much lined up for you on our bulletin this afternoon. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media handles indicated at the bottom of your screen. And with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now on to our top story this afternoon. The country's universities have been urged to forge a strong working relationship with the government and other stakeholders in support and promotion of sustainable development goals for a better nation. The appeal was made by Mount Kenya University co-founder Dr. Jane Nyoto, who says through research and community engagements, the country will achieve in areas that have a positive impact on human life. Her sentiments were echoed by MKU's Vice Chancellor, Deogratius Jaganyi, saying that there is a need to provide solutions to challenges facing world economies and end inequality. The two were speaking during the 8th International Interdisciplinary and Inter-Universities Consortium Conference held in Thika.
This allows university to partner with many universities, with the industry, and with practitioners in all areas that are positive impacts to human life, namely medicine, animal health and production, education, social and physical sciences, etc. Thus, in a collaborative effort, the communities across the world will be very well benefit from these joint activities of our deliberations during this consortium. In this regard, may all the deliberations of this conference lead to a future engagements with the governments, institutions of learning, and other stakeholders in support and promotion of the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, and more specifically, in support of reduced inequalities.
As you are aware, universities have a triple mandate of teaching, research, and community engagement. The interdisciplinary and inter-university consortium, as here represented by its member, is a useful strategy for assisting universities in attaining their missions and varied visions. However, as we move into the second decade of our existence as a consortium, maybe more interaction through staff and students exchange could be explored.
In the wake of Azimio la Umoja demonstrations in the country, the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, in collaboration with USAID, has commenced a program to educate Kenyan youth drawn from the North Rift region dubbed Living a Dignified Life. The NCCK Uasin Gishu coordinator Solomon Chelal has expressed the need for educating the youth as they enter their prime life, and in which they are calling upon leaders from all over the region to come together and promote unity, more so in this period of demonstrations.
The first challenge is unemployment. There is a high rate of unemployment in Kenya. Youths are not yet employed. That's why they are taking part first in the demonstrations, the mandamanos. So the leaders are taking advantage of the youth unemployment rate. There's a youth bulge and it's not being addressed. First, we'd like to say thank you to NCCK for involving us in this activity. They have made us being involved here so that we can know what is actually being a youth. What is actually knowing that you are a youth without complaining of how you feel of yourself.
Youths in our region are the majority, and they're the ones who are actually suffering a lot because they are not access to that dignified life. And we've brought them together so that we can empower them, so that they can be able to come up and participate and struggle to get that dignified life, because they are young people who have energy that they can transform even our society. So we brought all youths from the leaders from the region to come together so that we empower them today. Youths are participating in the demonstration not because they are the one initiating demonstration so that they can fight for what they want in their lives, but they are being brought in, they are being used in demonstration, and eventually, because of many things that they are lacking in their lives, they end up joining demonstration just to get small coins to boost their lives. And that is what we want to encourage them. If they want to participate in demonstration, as it is in the Constitution, let them know to participate and to be used.
Bolstering internship programs in the country. President William Ruto has said 20,000 youth will benefit from internship programs beginning next year, insisting the need to accord more young people the opportunity to serve the country on internship programs. Speaking during the launch of Public Service Internship Program and acknowledgement of the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, Nairobi, President Ruto urged the private sector to partner with the government in ensuring that more young people benefited from the program as part of efforts to uplift their lives. Take a look.
We learn in college, but there are many more things we learn by mentorship and by internship. I am a great believer in internship and mentorship because I have seen the benefits and the value of mentoring others, providing an opportunity for others to learn. I have had the privilege to mentor many politicians. I have had the privilege to provide internship for many people in the political space. And part of any success, whether in public service, whether in business, whether in politics, is to be able to mentor others to be as good, if not better, than yourself. And I hope those of us who have the privilege to serve as leaders, either in business, or in public service, or in politics, that we consider mentoring others, providing internship for others to learn from us, and that we can pass on the baton. And I like what I heard Aisha say, that part of the success of leadership is to be able to arrange a succession plan. Do not sit in an office, do not occupy a position as though you are going to be there forever.
Meanwhile, nominated Member of Parliament Sabina Chege wants Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga to call off the ongoing demonstrations against the Kenya Kwanza administration, saying the mass protests have destabilized the country's state of security. While speaking at Kambara Secondary School in Mathioya constituency, Sabina stated that the ongoing mass protests have no positive contribution towards the economy of the country, but instead lead to massive destruction of property within the central business district, calling on leaders from both the political divide to find a long-lasting solution and reinstate peace.
What I'll plead with our people, it was very sad on Monday to see a church going down, to see a mosque, people invading and also burning the mosque. It was very unfortunate also to see people going to rob a supermarket. It is also very unfortunate that every day there is maandamano. We are seeing people closing businesses. We saw people going to a supermarket and stealing. We also saw people going to the former president farm and just going cutting trees and stealing. I would say it will start with one person, it will go to the next one, and I will say we are not headed in the right direction. What I will say as members of parliament, we have a responsibility. Even if we take that sufuria and go to the street, that sufuria doesn't go back home with unga or with maize or with rice. The solution lies within parliament. So I also want to plead with the ones who won. You won with humility and God gave you the win. I want to say that please humble yourself. It is good to serve when you are quiet. Sometimes you don't have to answer everything that is, people tell you, because at the end of the day, you have a responsibility. Show leadership. Show leadership. And I plead that we can be able to listen to each other.
29-year-old Daniel Kipkoech is a living testimony of the proverbial saying that disability is not inability, after he was able to secure a spot in the transport sector through pain, patience, hard work and perseverance. Koech, who is the firstborn in a family of 5, was forced to live a life full of misery as he was raised in a humble background. Koech tells us he first started as a fruit vendor and saved some amount of money which he has used to buy his tuk-tuk that helps him ferry not only passengers but goods as well. Koech is now pleading with other persons living with disability to stop borrowing in the streets and instead do something constructive to contribute in the society.
Vile nilianza ndio nikapata hii, nilianza ile ka wheelchair kadogo kwa wale wenye wanajua, so nikaanza kuuza matunda. Nikaruka kwa matunda nikaenda soda. Nikaruka kwa soda nikaenda mahali, so mpaka sasa hii hapa ndio mahali niko. Na sijahofia kitu yoyote. Juu sasa kufika hapa si rahisi. Wenda hata kununua hii gari hata ni 450,000. Na sijaona. So sijaona kitu yoyote ambao iliniaffect nikinunua hii na nilifurahia. Wengi hata walikuwa wananiambia hata afadhali ungenunua shamba sijui. Mimi nikamwambia sasa ile kitu akili imetaka ni hiyo. Na si wewe unanunua ni mimi. So nikanunua hapo mbeleni ndio walikuja kujua ya kwamba kumbe huyu alikuwa anataka kari ya kazi. Hakuwa anataka apangwa afanye kazi nyingine.
Nimemjua Dan kwa muda mrefu, ambaye alianza hii kazi yake wakati alikuwa anaanza kutambaa kwenda kwa chini, na alikuwa anakuja hapa tunampatia kama ni mizigo, anakuja ananunua, tunambebea, anajitahidi kwenda kuuza. Wakati alianza na ile kagari kadogo ndipo alitupatia motisha, hata sisi tukiwa na upendo wa kumpatia kitu tunasikia tuko na upendo zaidi, kwa sababu yeye mwenyewe anajitahidi. Kama niyo mzigo ukimpatia anaenda kuuza, anajua shilingi huwa inaongezwa na shilingi nyingine na kesho inanunua kitu kingine. Kama leo hakuwa na sukari, kesho unakuta ako na mkate.
Meanwhile, the government has been urged to work closely with stakeholders from the private sector to help in the fight against drug and substance abuse among hundreds of youth in the central region. Speaking during the launch of the Stegrami Rehabilitation Center in Moingwa, Thika, the center's CEO, Michael Weru, insisted that while treatment of victims is quite expensive and that most addicts and their families cannot foot the huge bills, the government should help by incorporating the use of NHIF for mental treatment to help many recover and become productive. According to addicts, peer pressure, unemployment, social media and cultural influence are some of the main reasons why youth resort to drug and substance abuse.
Drugs only lead to 3 things. That is jails, institutions like this, and death. So among the 3 choices, I think the one choice that is better for you to choose is to go to an institution like this. Just admit that you have a problem with using, and from there, I'm sure once you're willing to come out clean, you can never lack ways of being helped to come out and be yourself, because the future is quite young. I'm young, I'm 25. I wasn't able to complete school, but right now I think I even have a chance to go and complete school.
Nilikuwa shule nika drop out because of these drugs, na ningependa nikitoka hapo mzazi wangu sababu najua aliniambia atanirudisha shule. I'm willing to go back because I have a brighter future ahead of me, not the way I was in my old pattern.
Jana huko nje life sio ni mbaya huko nje. Tunaona wengi wakiwa wasafi, maybe utalk those streets. Unajua kule ndani street huko. Kwa ndo utapata ndo mambo iko mingi, drugs, hizo kujidunga, lakini si not hapa juu outside si mbaya vile.
Activities are heightened when people take too much drugs. People lose their lives still. And also people affect their families in different ways. Suicide cases are on the rise, divorce cases, battery. So we try our best to reduce this with this rehab center here that we hope that will help people be better people in the society.
Now to an update on the fatal accident that took place in Nakuru County. Several students are still recuperating in hospital after this fatal accident occurred yesterday that killed at least 7 students. A total of 9 teams were going to participate in a sports event in Eldoret town when the accident involving Pwani University students occurred. The Pwani University management has detailed the number of students who were inside the bus. By yesterday, at least 16 people died in a road accident in Kayole on the Naivasha-Nakuru highway when the college bus hit a matatu. Among those killed are 8 students of Pwani University who were traveling to Eldoret town for sports event. A somber mood engulfed Pwani University in Mombasa on Thursday, March 30th, when news of the accident reached the college.
24 of our students, 62 who were in the other bus, and the others who were injured in the bus which was involved in the accident were taken to Egerton University yesterday through the assistance of the Vice Chancellor and the team from Egerton. Egerton provided us with counselors to counsel the students who were in trauma yesterday, and they slept in Egerton. Now 5 of those students are not in good condition. They have bruises and had impacts, so they are admitted in a clinic in Egerton. The other students are in Naivasha, and then there are about 10 students through the assistance of the Office of the Governor who are ferried to Kenyatta National Hospital, the ones who are in a not very good condition. Now so far we have lost 8 students and 3 members of staff.
Of 9 sports teams that were going to participate in the Kenya University Sports Association National Games at Eldoret, and we had 2 vehicles, KBJ 417U, which was not involved in an accident. In there we had the volleyball women team, we had the netball men and women, we had the handball men and women, and we had 2 drivers, Alex Thoya and Philip Kaingu, and a student who moved from the other bus to this one called Emmanuel.
Pwani University, we own it. So when anything happens kwa Pwani University imetugusa pia sisi. Kile tunasema na kwamba tunapiana risala zetu za rambirambi kwa wote ambao wamepoteza wapendwa wao. Lakini cha msingi ni kwamba wale 7 na wengine ambao wamepata majeraha madogo madogo tuzidi kuwaombea.
May the souls of the bereaved rest in eternal peace and a quick recovery to those who are still recuperating in hospital. But moving on, it is a sigh of relief to Nyamira County government after the long-time standoff on tax remittance among boda operators and the finance department. For almost 10 years now, the boda operators have been dodging paying taxes to the county government. The county government has now been forced to have a dialogue with the riders where they agreed to remit their taxes. According to the finance department, the boda riders will largely help in the growth of the town.
Stakeholders katika county ya Nyamira tangu mwaka ugatuzi ianze hawajai lipa ushuru, kwa sababu sisi kama wanasiasa pia tulikataa kipindi ile ya kwanza mpaka saa hii county ichapata pesa kutoka kwao. Lakini kwa mazungumzo na vile Biblia inasema kila mtu atoe ushuru, wameamua kutii. Marudishia shukrani za kipekee kwa kukubali kulipa ushuru ambayo itasaidia kujenga kaunti yetu.
Tumekubaliana ya kwamba ushuru kutoka kwa bodaboda industry itaanza kulipwa. Wamekubali kulipa hiyo ushuru, na hiyo ushuru ndio itasaidia serikali ndogo ya Nyamira itoe huduma kwa wananchi.
Tumekuwa mzozo wa kutolipa ushuru kwa muda mrefu, ila leo tumekaa chini na serikali yetu ya county, tumekaa na waheshimiwa wetu, mheshimiwa wa Rigoma, mheshimiwa Gisesa, mheshimiwa Nyamino wa Gesima Ward. Nao pia tumekuwa na waziri wetu, waziri Okeyo, tumekuwa na ma chief officers na tumeweka mikakati kabambe ya kuelewana ili tuone kamba ili gatuzi letu tumeliinua kiuchumi. Tumeelewana tutakuwa tukilipa ushuru na hii ushuru yetu yenye tunaenda kulipa na ikuwe ikisaidia gatuzi letu. Tumeangalia tuko nyuma kimaendeleo katika mpangilio wa serikali ya county, tumeona zile kazi na county, yale masuala tumeelewana. Zile makamba wameweka kila njiani za nini zinaweza anguza mama mboga ule amepandizwa, tumekataa, tutaelewana. Hii ushuru itakuwa inatolewa polepole, na pia kuna mikakati tutaweka na revenue coordinator. Nadhania wana boda wengine kule nje wanaweza ona kama ni lose situation. It is a win-win situation for all of us. And in everything we must have dialogue ndio tupate mazuri.
And from tax remittances by the border operators to a soiree in the White, or rather the State House, where President William Ruto and the First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto have this morning hosted a breakfast meeting for spouses of members of the National Assembly at State House, Nairobi, where a clarion call was made to all spouses of respective leaders to support their partners and institute measures to curb the impact of climate change. Take a look.
We strive to better ourselves so as to support and complement our spouses effectively. We continue to reach out to individuals and institutions that can help us and guide us spiritually, mentally, emotionally, academically, financially, and physically to improve ourselves. Why? We aim to be the best selves, our best selves, in any given circumstance, because we know that we cannot pour from an empty cup, and that an empowered woman can empower others.
There are two fundamental key roles that you play in the scheme of things under the circumstances. And the first one, we've heard it again and again and again, is to support your spouse. Fundamentally, that goes without saying. To support him fulfill the assignment that God has given him on behalf of this nation. That is not negotiable. That is your God-given assignment. It's a mandate which you must fulfill without even blinking.
What is that makes you have sleepless nights? For me, it was the poverty that I saw in the lives of women. The women in prison that are there because of crimes of passion. What is that then God will help you to be able to change? And I must say that God has given us an opportunity. Maybe it is just 5 years, maybe it is 10 years, maybe it is 20 years like Mrs. Mary Moroto. Do not squander that time. Do something that will change the life of somebody in the society.
And your support is not taken for granted. I want to say on all their behalf, asanteni sana kwa kutushughulikia na kutusaidia, kwa sababu mnaelewa majukumu saa zingine tulizo nazo ni magumu na mambo sio rahisi. So you rarely in politics, you rarely get people who appreciate you. Many people are